guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the video Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man, Interracial Relationships, because it was messy and it was biased and it just perpetuates so many stereotypes. It was just like, oh really? But yeah, I'm just going to review it, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you are here and you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? What are you doing? Subscribe.
It's just one of them days.
I want to start with an email that I received, and I really want to focus on the interracial aspect of all of this, because someone asked me, they said, Emmanuel, as a black man, do you feel betrayed when you see a black woman with a white man? And I might not necessarily say I feel betrayed, but I feel some type of way. Rachel, you and I, we go back. And so I'm going to tell you something that I haven't told you before. 2017, I'm watching The Bachelorette, and I see finally they chose a black woman. They chose a black queen, and I'm thinking to myself, surely she's going to pick a black king. I know nothing about Brian, like nothing about Brian. Never met the guy. But all I see is Rachel picked a guy who is seemingly white. I felt some type of way about that. What would you say to someone who shared those sentiments? What would you say to them?
Well, friend, I don't even know if I should say friend after you just said that to me. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, and you know he's not gonna ask the black guy that question. You just know. I watched it and he didn't. This just seems like this guy has some unresolved issues, because my man said that he's betrayed. He felt betrayed. Why are you betrayed? I'm seeing the bias already, but this is the thing. People that date interracially, the person doesn't belong to us, so we shouldn't feel betrayed when they do date outside their race, okay? But the only time when it's like betrayal is when they start bashing. For example, if a man starts bashing black women or a woman starts bashing black men, that's when you should feel betrayed. You don't need to bash your own race when you're dating another race. That's the only thing. That's what I have to say.
You know, I think about this quote, and I was thinking about this yesterday. It says, if the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? We all remember that. If the enemy of my enemy is my friend, then the friend of my enemy is my enemy. And I was thinking, historically speaking, white people are the enemy of black people. So when you see a black person with the white person, then all of a sudden you're like, wait, you're with the enemy. Have you lost friends based on who you love being a black man?
I wouldn't say I've lost friends. There has been a lot of difficult moments with people that I'm very close to that it's been very hurtful, and I don't know exactly how to approach it. I don't know how to communicate our relationship to them in a way that they understand. I don't know how to get rid of racism and just allow them to see him for the person that he is. I don't know how to do that, and that is why I want to talk, because I'm
not gonna lie, this woman that is dating the black man, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She just doesn't know what she's talking about. And it just shows that I don't think they've actually, like, I don't know, maybe they haven't had a conversation about racism, but it doesn't seem like it's been a deep conversation, because the girl's talking about, how do I end racism? You can't end racism, you're just one person. That's not possible. That you can't end racism, you're just one person. Also, are you saying that your family don't like him? Are you saying that you're still friends with people that don't like him? That's weird. Because obviously they don't like him because he's black, so why are you still friends with racist people? That's weird to me. But I don't know if that's what she was saying, but it seems like that's what she was implying. I don't know.
No, I love it. I'm gonna tell you something. I love every moment of it.
Why?
Because what this promotes is growth and strength in our relationship. And I'm not against that. Adversity is a great thing. When people show true colors, this world is full of a lot of people.
And this guy was like, oh, really? I don't know, what I got from this is, oh, your friends are racist. They don't like me because I'm black. Oh, this is the first time I'm hearing about this.
To a degree, to the black person, like, you've lessened your blackness. Like, Rachel, you are an intelligent woman, law degree, well-spoken. You're with Brian.
When he said to her that she's intelligent and well-spoken, he didn't need to say intelligent and well-spoken, because that feeds into white supremacy. She just spoke about her accomplishments, not about well-spoken and intelligent.
You're with Brian. Good dude, but he's not black. People look at you and you're like, Rachel shouldn't even be talking. Like she's not even black.
Okay. I must say, the questions that he's asking Rachel is really like, it seems personal.
I got an email and it pierced my heart. She said, "Can you help me? What can I do as a white woman to be more accepted by black women?" What would you say?
I don't know the answer to that. I feel like, you know, PK's family and his friends, his family's friends, everyone has been so accepting of me, and I just try to be kind to every person that I meet, and even if they hate me because I'm with a strong black man, I'm still the same person. I know that I'm a good person. I know that
it doesn't make you sad.
It does make me sad because it actually, not sad, it makes me feel extremely guilty.
Why?
Because I am taking a strong black man away from them.
Okay, this is where the ignorance is jumping out. I feel like what she said here was just gloating. We all know they like to gloat sometimes when they date black men because for some reason they feel like they're taking a black man away from black women. That's not the case. They're probably not angry. This question kind of perpetuates the stereotype of black women being bitter when black men date outside their race, because he didn't ask Rachel that question. And also, her answer was very ignorant. She said that it makes her feel guilty, which just kind of implies that she has a superiority complex. It kind of implies that she knows that she's superior. She isn't superior. I just want to note that. But the fact that she said that, her superiority complex kind of jumped out. You're acting as if these women are hounding you every day. That's kind of how she put it. Like, she feels guilty. Like, we're so upset. The black women that know who he is are so upset. They're crying. They're distraught. I don't think that's the case. So you don't need to say that you feel guilty, and you don't need to say that you took one away from them. Also, can we stop using strong black man as strong as a way to describe black men, dark-skinned black men? The use of the word strong kind of implies that it's a fetish. But that's all I'm gonna say. It implies fetish to me. We have to be careful, because just because she said that, oh, I'm taking a strong black man away from them, doesn't mean that a black woman has actually gone to her and said that. Because guess what? That is a stereotype, what she's saying. She probably got that from the internet. She probably got that from movies. Doesn't mean a black woman has actually gone to her and cussed her out for dating a black man. Doesn't mean that a black woman has actually gone up to her and said, oh, you took him away from us. I doubt a woman has actually done that. And so, you know, that just shows her ignorance. That she probably got that stereotype. She's probably just naming a stereotype. She's probably just naming a stereotype, which is why it gives me fetish vibes, and the fact that she don't really know what she's talking about. Like, why are you asking her? Did a black woman actually go up to you and say, you took him away from us? Did they actually go up to you and say that? Or did you just see that and Save the Last Dance, and so you thought, oh, you'd say it on TV? On this interview, I can't believe he actually asked her that question.
What then would you say, Rachel? Because you are the black woman. What can a white woman do to be more accepted by black women if the only reason she's not accepted is because she's with a black man?
Also, this question kind of makes Rachel seem like some sort of traitor, but then the white girl is a victim.
And to be honest, I used to be that black woman. I feel bad saying that out loud, and now being in my own interracial relationship, but I was 100% ignorant. I would look and I would see a white woman with a black man, and I would automatically assume certain things. And that's because I was so closed-minded. It's a heart issue.
I appreciate Rachel's honesty when she said that she did used to hate seeing black men with white women, but I wish he would have asked the black guy, even if he'd said, oh, he didn't care, or he didn't care, or he didn't hate. I wish you'd have asked the black guy, because you're just perpetuating the stereotype. There's only black women that hate seeing black men dating white girls. But also, there's black men that hate seeing black women dating white guys. So why didn't you ask him the question? No matter what his answer would have been, just ask him the question at least. Like, stop being biased.
For my purposes, do you feel like that applies to me as well, as far as a black man looking at me?
Yeah, I remember the first time I dated outside my race. It wasn't serious, it was before The Bachelorette. And I remember, I felt every black man was looking at me like, oh, there she goes. We lost another one. It was my first date, and I just remember wanting to wear a t-shirt that said, I swear this is my first time. Why should I have to think like that?
I actually there was a friend of mine, and he actually later apologized for it, but he actually, when I was with Lindsay, I don't even know if I told you
No,
this.
you didn't. No,
But he broke me down about like, dude, you need to be with like a sister, like you need to, and I think he had a couple drinks, but I never stopped him or put him in his place. I just let him speak. I just let him speak because I said, you know, this is a lack of education.
But I do like that the guy spoke about his friend doing it and Rachel spoke about a guy doing it to her, because that host, yeah, was trying to perpetuate the stereotype there's only black women that don't like it when black men date white girls, because it is the other way around as well. And I like how they spoke about that, and they didn't let him just perpetuate that stereotype.
Because I have to dig in on this point, because I would be remiss not to, even if there's the ideology that Lindsay's ancestors would have oppressed your ancestors. You don't feel any guilt in that.
I feel guilty by you just saying that.
No, but
Like,
it's
that's how you would think. Like, I'm not associated with what people 4, 5, 6, 7 generations did before me. I mean, because I'm white.
I think it's hypocritical though.
Okay.
You can't say that you're not associated with what they did 5, 4, 6 generations before you, because some things you saying just shows how ignorant you are. So just because you're not a slave master doesn't mean you're not doing something that perpetuates white supremacy. Honestly, people need to stop thinking like that. Just because they're not a slave master doesn't mean you're not upholding white supremacy. Please.
I mean, because I'm white.
I think it's hypocritical though.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm glad he interrupted her, because it seemed like she was going to say something like,
So if I'm talking about changing the game, I'm talking about changing the narrative, and all of us as a black culture are talking about changing. Well, you can't want change in one ways and not the other way. If we're talking about accepting people for who they are and seeing people for who they are and loving people for who they are, and if somebody respects you, respect them back, then it shouldn't matter what color the person. People are saying this is not about black and white.
white people are accepted for who they are already. Black people are not accepted for who we are. So yeah, I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying, like equality, like we should all be equal. But that's not the analogy he should have used. He should have just said that, you know, there's nothing wrong with dating interracially. There was laws against this how many years ago? Not long ago, by the way. So he should have really spoke about that and how we need to progress past that, not about accepting people for who they are, because that's not really something that you can apply to white people. It's something that we can apply to people of other races, because white people are accepted for who they are. That's why there's something called white supremacy. But we are not accepted for who we are.
Y'all so cute. There was
Is Rachel and her husband not cute?
There was one email that I received, and I responded to this woman. I said, I promise I will get it answered. And she said, Emmanuel, how can I love my black man, my black husband better?
Okay. So the way this guy, the host, is talking about black people is like we're some creature.
I'm going to ask you, PK, to answer that question to Lindsay, while also realizing you're answering it to the world. How can a white woman love her black man better?
You have to let that person in. They have to understand you. They have to know how you deal with things. So for Lindsay, she doesn't have to do anything different. She asks questions all the time. She's there. The responsibility is on me to open it up and not keep that stuff sheltered inside. All I have to do is let her in.
Rachel, I guess end it by Brian.
They're killing us over here.
The PDA department.
How would you say, Rachel's a black woman, how can your white husband love you better?
One of the reasons that I was so against dating outside of my race is because I felt like nobody could understand me like a black man can. And I think that thinking is problematic. What I need from a partner is someone who is willing to understand things as the way that I do, is willing to ask questions.
I genuinely thank you all, and thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man.
I don't think it was uncomfortable, the conversation. I just think like it was a very biased conversation. It kind of perpetuated some stereotypes against black women, and it was just like, I just think the questions were just stupid. Like, you could have asked questions about colorism and things like that. You could have asked questions about how you would bring up your children because they would be mixed, you know, about just things like that. Nobody asked a question about how the white person's parent felt about it. Nobody asked anything like that. It was all about I just feel like it was all about demonizing how black people felt about interracial relationships, which is annoying. And that just shows this man didn't do his history or do his research, because the reason why interracial relationships is looked down upon is because of white supremacy. So why is he trying to portray it as it's something that black people hated and that's why it doesn't happen? Like, stop. Rachel's husband hardly spoke. He didn't even ask him a question well, he asked him one question directly. Did he? I don't know. But he hardly spoke. It was all about kind of, again, the one was again a victim, a victim, a victim. Victim, victim, victim. The whole thing. The whole thing was about her being a victim. And it's just like, oh, well, what if her family... We want to know if her family was rude to him. PK, yeah, PK. We want to know if her family was rude to him or not. We want to know these things. You didn't ask any of these things. It was about her being a victim and him and his friends being demonized the whole time. It's like, if you're going to have uncomfortable conversations with a black man, can you at least be educated on certain matters and also not have any biases? Because it's not going to be an edifying conversation and it's just going to annoy people. Because if you look at the comments, I have not seen one comment that was edified by the conversation with him. But yeah, I just think it was a bit of a mess of a video and it was just biased, misogynistic, demonizing black people, don't know your history. Obviously, do you know your history? I don't know, because it showed that you, I don't know, it looked like you didn't. It looked like you were ignorant as well, just as ignorant as the woman that PK was with. It's just a bit of a mess. I just wish, like, when people have these conversations with white people, can it actually be uncomfortable? Because it wasn't uncomfortable. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling and I hope you guys I hope this was, I don't know. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.